Yo, what is up everybody? My name's Rios here, and you already know what time it is. We are back on Attack on Titan Revolution. So in my last video, I finally got my hands on the mythical family Helos through trading, and I'll go ahead and pop up a screenshot of the trade I did for Helos. And yes, I know I definitely lost the trade in terms of value, but again, it is what it is. And also in my last video, I did make a damaged Thunder Spirit build with Helos, which I would say is pretty good. It is capable of doing 2 million damage per Thunder Spear, and it can also do a 8 million damage crit combo if you use Avenging Execution and Kingslayer together. So if you guys are in need of a high damage Thunder Spirit build with Helos, I'll leave a link to the YouTube video down in the description below. So now that I finally got my hands on Helos, it definitely opens me up to a bunch of different builds I can make in terms of like the Blaze / Thunder Spirit side of the game. And as I was going through my past videos on the channel, I did see that I did make a speed Odium build in the past, and to be honest with you, it was a pretty fast build I would say at the time. But now that I have Helos and there are a bunch of different artifacts in the game that can help with speed, I strongly believe I can make a much better speed build than the build in that video. And after trying out a bunch of different things with different perks and memories, while also trying to balance out speed and damage, I believe I made one of the fastest Odium Blade speed builds that you could possibly make in this game. And with how fast you go with this build, you might as well call yourself freaking Sonic. So in this video, I will showcase you guys an Odium Blade speed build with Helos that is capable of going very fast, and probably faster than you ever need, to the point where you even might lose control and probably even struggle to kill Titans due to how fast you're going. So without further ado, let's get straight into the build video. So like always with every build video, let's go ahead and start off with the skill tree. So let's go ahead and go to our equipment tab, go to our skill tree, and as you can see, we are obviously going to be using the Helos family. And with the Helos family, you do get an extra offensive perk slot and a support perk slot, as well as 3 family exclusive skills and a family exclusive passive, which is Undying Hero. And you also get a bunch of different stat buffs, but however, you cannot shift as Helos. And the main reason we are using Helos out of any other family in the game is because of mainly its stat buffs. As you can see, the Helos family gives a crap ton of damage stat buffs, but more importantly, it does give a 50% Odium speed buff, which is what we need for an Odium speed build. Now going down to your rest of the skill tree, for the support side, we are going down to your right side or the buffing route right here, mainly due to the Order Advanced skill for speed. For the offensive skill tree, we are going down the crit path or the right side right here, mainly because I just prefer crit damage a lot more over damage. And lastly, for the defensive side, we are going down the left side or the damage reduction route right here, mainly because I just prefer damage reduction. Now let's go ahead and dive a little bit deeper into the skills we're using for this build. For our first skill, we are using Torrential Steel, which pretty much turns you into a Beyblade, and you can do a lot of damage to like Titans nearby. And the reason why we are using this skill is because we are going down the crit path of the damage skill tree, and I believe that this skill is one of the better skills on this path, and in some way you feel like you are Levi Ackerman. And for our second skill, we are using Avenging Execution, and for our third skill, we are using Kingslayer, which are Helos' offensive skills. And in my opinion, these skills are very good because they can actually do a lot of damage, and especially if you do pair them up together, kind of like a combo, you can do a lot of damage in like a few strikes. And for our fourth skill, we are using Order Revolution, which is Helos' buff skill, and with the skill, you can heal up to 125 HP, heal 3 injuries, and also buff all allies' Odium stats by 15%, which I assume also includes speed and damage. And lastly, for our fifth skill, we are using Order Advance, which buffs all allies' Odium speed by 10%, which again is something that we do need if we're using a speed build. Alright, so moving on to the perks, we are using 6 total perks, with 4 of them being mythical perks and 2 of them being legendary perks. And yes, I know, ooh, Rios is finally using legendary perks. Oh my goodness. Yes, I know I am not using all mythical perks this time, and it is for a good reason. So starting off with the first offensive mythical perk, we are using Kango, and I believe this is one of the most essential perks if you're rocking any sort of Odium Blade build, because obviously it gives a lot of good damage stat boosts. For example, Odium damage increases by 40%, Blade durability increases by 20%, and you can now hit 4 more Titan limbs at once. So overall, it's a very good and solid perk to have. Going to our second offensive mythical perk, we have Black Flash, and I believe Black Flash actually pairs very well with this build because we are rocking a speed build, and also we are going down the crit path of the damage skill tree. So having Black Flash and with all these other things that we're doing, it's going to be a pretty solid combination. And also we can deal maximum damage for every crit. So overall, very important perk to have in this build. Now moving on to our first support slot, which is also our first legendary perk, we have Gear Master. And the reason why we are using Gear Master is because it does increase ODM speed by 12.5%, and it also increases ODM control by 15%. So since we are rocking a speed build, having extra speed with Gear Master is going to be very, very important. And now moving on to our second support slot, which is a mythical perk, we of course have Tatsujin. And again, I believe this is also an important perk to have if you're rocking any sort of ODM blade build, because of all of the ODM blade stat buffs that it gives. ODM speed, which is what we need, increases by 20%. So overall, another very good, well-rounded perk to have in this build. Moving to our only defensive slot, we of course have Immortal. Now, I believe Immortal is one of the best defensive perks in this game, as injury chance decreases by 22.5%, health increases by 125%, and damage reduction increases by 30%. So overall, this should help us in terms of survivability. Now, lastly, with our body slot, which is where our second legendary perk is, we are rocking Perfect Soul. Now, Perfect Soul increases all ODM stats by 10%, which I assume also includes damage and speed, which is what we need. So overall, this perk should be very good for helping us increase our speed, as well as other ODM stats as well. Now, moving on to the memories, we are going to be using Tactician, Quick Strike, Gambler, and Assassin. We are using Tactician because we are using buffs like Order Revolution and Order Advance, and using this memory should help us get a little bit more out of those buffs. We're using Quick Strike, Gambler, and Assassin to help us do more damage, with Assassin helping us do more damage with our blade skills, and Gambler and Quick Strike helping us do more damage in general. I would say some other memories that you might consider trying out are Crescendo and Cooldown Blitz, because Crescendo might help you do a little bit more damage to bosses when they're stunned, and Cooldown Blitz might help you use your skills a lot faster and more frequently. And lastly, for our artifacts, we are using the Scars of ODM Speed right here, and we're also using the Hoodie with ODM Speed right here. And as you can see, with the Hoodie, we do get an additional 15% ODM Speed on top of the ODM Speed that we already have. So overall, this is going to be a very essential artifact for this build. So that's pretty much the Helios ODM Blade Speed build, and if you put all of the elements together, you will get a whopping 516 meters per second, which I think is pretty freaking fast. So at this point, you're definitely going to be Sonic. And also, let's just say you do not have Helios, you could maybe try to use the Zoe family, but you are going to miss out on all of the Helios' stat buffs, as well as having an extra offensive and support slot, so your speed build probably won't be as fast. So now that we have this speed build, I'm going to go ahead and jump into a mission to showcase you guys how fast this build really is, and then I'm going to hop into a raid to show you guys how much damage this build can actually do. Alright, so as you can see, I am now in a mission, so let me go ahead and show you guys how fast this build really is. So first, I will showcase you guys the raw speed without any buffs, just base ODM speed, so that should be around, I believe, 516 meters per second. So anyways, 3, 2, 1, and as you can see, with base ODM speed, we are honestly pretty freaking fast. Like, we are legitimately zooming across the freaking map, as you can see, and I just got freaking gripped. Like, are you serious right now? As you can see, we are pretty freaking fast. So imagine with buffs how fast we would even be. Alright, so now I'm gonna activate all the buffs, which includes first our Order Revolution right here, and now let's activate our Order Advance, and let's see how fast we are now. So as you can see, with the buffs, we are, I would say, a lot faster now. I'm low-key actually flying. With buffs, the speed is just even more crazier. Like, I am just flying around the outskirts map. Just look at all these Titans just struggling to catch up to me. Like, but anyways, let's go ahead and actually test out if we can kill any Titans with this build, because what's the point of having a build when you can't even kill any Titans? So first, let's go ahead and try to kill this Titan right here. Boom. Okay, just went for the eyes. Also, keep in mind, I am not the best ODM player, so do not expect any pro gameplay. Like, I'm actually pretty bad when it comes to ODM. Let's go ahead and use our spinning blade, Beyblade, boom, boom, boom. Get a couple kills there. Now let's go ahead and actually kill the crawlers first. I think that's what we should do. Let's kill this guy over here. Boom. Holy crap. We got killed there. We get the legs there. Let's go back in. Do some more damage. Do some more damage here. Let's go back to our Beyblade. There we go. Get some more damage. I get this crawler. There we go. Get this crawler over here. Get the legs. Go back. Boom. Boom. Oh, so now we're doing explosion attacks with the Undying Dingbabob passive. I forgot what it's called. And also, if you are bad at ODM, you can always rely on the Helios offensive skills. So let's go ahead and use Kingslayer. Like so. There we go. Just killed a good amount of Titans there. It seems like that is the last Titan over there. Let's go ahead and reactivate our buffs. one last time. And now let's go full speed at this Titan over here. Let's go. Come here. Come here. Ah! Oh, crap. There we go. Okay. Yo, we just freaking zoomed at that Titan. As you can see, this build is pretty freaking fast. All right, we're good. All right, phase 2. Now we can actually get to the testing. So now let's activate our buffs. So first, Order Revolution, Order Advance. All right, let's see how much damage we can actually do. Okay, so Aaron is right there. Let's go in. Okay, first shot, we miss. Okay, we're low too fast. Okay, boom, 400k. 300k. Okay, so around 300k average. I lied, 400k, and I just broke my leg. Let's actually use our Avenging Execution. I mean, our Kingslayer into Avenging Execution. 2.5 mil. Okay, 1.6. Not too shabby. 400k. 400k again. 400k there. 400k, 200k. 500k. All right, wait, hold on. Let's go back in. Full speed. Oh, okay, just absolutely missed. Okay, and now I can't see. Nice. There he is. Let's go back in. Okay, there's no way I'm missing. Dude, why is it that every time I go in for an attack, I just get hit like crazy? Are we serious? 400k, 300k. Okay. 300k again. Well, it's actually kind of hard to see. I keep getting hit like crazy, bro. Can we chill? Let's go in. Boom, 500k. And I just get hit again. What me getting hit, bro? Side swipe. Bang. Okay. Yo. I'm just giving him a haircut at this point. I'm literally just giving him a haircut. Yo, what is going on? How's that a hit? Okay, there we go. That's a hit. Another hit. Let's go. Let's see if we can do the final blow. Okay, never mind. Alright, so let's open up our free chest. Let's see how much damage we actually did. And it seems like we got some pretty mid loot. Okay, we did 45 million damage. Okay, I would say that's not too bad. I mean, it is in 8 minutes. That is, I'm not gonna lie, quite long. As you can see, we pretty much have every single injury to game. Like, that's actually crazy. Anyways, guys, this will be the end of today's video. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to press that like button and subscribe for more Attack on Titan Revolution content. Is this speed build good? In my opinion, I think it's pretty decent. Yes, it is pretty fast. However, I think it is kind of lacking on the damage side, as you saw in the raid. So it's really only fun if you use it in like missions, because you can fly around, kill a lot of Titans. But if you're trying to complete raids really fast, or you're trying to have a build that does like a lot of damage in raids, then I would say this build isn't really too good for that. And also, recently I have just made a brand new regiment called the Ryosu's Penguin Corps. So if you want to join that regiment or join that group, the link to the group will be down in the description. However, the regiment is currently full in the game, so you might not be able to join the regiment in game. However, you are still able to join the group for free, by the way. There are no requirements at the moment. And also, while you're at it, make sure to join my Discord, because sometimes I be in my Discord just talking to you guys about random things like Attack on Titan Revolution, anime, I don't know, random games, who knows. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.